is going on, everybody? Getting lost in the noodleage right there. Who's in the chat today? I think I saw Kale. Hope you're doing all right, Kale. I think I saw Stooky Person. I always read it in that voice when I read it. Well, great 80s licks. Yeah, so that's a Midnight song called, what is it called? River of Darkness, I think. Great track. And you can buy the stems from their Bandcamp, which is what I did. So I just removed the vocal and the sax line. And I got my squeaky chair that everybody gets to hear today. Yeah, you can just go to town with the 80s stuff. I think that one's like E flat, but I'm in drop. I'm in drop G because this is a 7-string, so I'm down a whole step basically. So I'm playing it like it's in F. But yeah, that just kind of has a... You know, we all know where this goes. So yeah, it's fun. Like they're just, you know, the most fun chords to blast 80s stuff over. So what I will do is, let me maybe talk you guys through a few things you can try in this situation, because I have been questioned about what I think about when I'm improvising, and there's not a whole lot of thought involved, but maybe I'll play over that again and, you know, just kind of give you guys some ideas. Yeah, and we have a Portuguese person in France. Welcome to the chat. And good morning, Oliver Tree. I hope you're having a great morning. It's evening here for me, from the future. So yeah, if anyone has any particular questions, I'm like mostly just gonna be jamming, so you ask about what I'm doing, and yeah, we can hang out. A Frenchman in France. That sounds like the title of a film, doesn't it? All right. On the original version of this track, there's like a sax solo, and the notes end up being... So we're in F, so it's like minor third, second, minor seventh, Boys of Summer. That's actually something that I use that trick a lot. The Boys of Summer trick. Oh yeah, I should post this, a link to Discord, so that anyone on Discord, let's all play some Black Ops. See, the issue with that is I'm no good at Black Ops. I mean, I'm no good at guitar, but I'm more no good at Black Ops. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's here. All right, dropping it in Discord. People can come and hang out. Yeah, basically streaming from a guitar store. So Ken Phillips in Melbourne. Hope you're having a good time. No, this is just you know, this is just me advertising my vice to the world, because apparently that's a good thing to do. So Boys of Summer notes work on anything. You're in a minor key. I call it surrounding the root note. And you have the root note F. You have the note that's a tone higher, which is the second degree or the ninth. You have the note that is 3 semitones higher, the minor third. And you have the note a whole tone lower. That's the minor seventh. So you hit minor third, second, and flat 7. So watch this. I'll play a whole solo with just the Boys of Summer notes. Synthwave is basically, the Boys of Summer riff was an entire genre anyway, so let's go. I need to mute my mic, one sec. So 3-note solo. This is going to work great. the Boys of Summer approach, those 3 notes. Add 2 more notes in, and you kind of have the little sax riff from it, so you get this. You can also try slide into the note, like so, really sax it up. So what I like to do is slide and bend that top note, so you kind of get that little saxy. So not playing the root note, that's kind of cool. So you get this. Straight blues. If you got a note, you can bend into it from a semitone, so So that's kind of there's a few things that I like to think about, and then lots of that kind of shape where you'd have the root note, the ninth and the minor seventh, and then flat third, fourth and fifth. Played as octaves, so it's a hexatonic scale. And sequencing that. So, 3 things: Boys of Summer, saxifying. Whoa, not that. And then widdly widdlies with the hexatonic. And that's how you play synthwave guitar, kids. I should check the chat. Yeah, hopefully there's some kind of cool stuff in there. Let's see. Catching up to the chat. Driving with Your Eyes Closed by Don Henley is sick. How much is the cheapest guitar? There's a few that I have scored. You know, if you were to buy them new, they would be far more expensive. But like, I have a Hamer Les Paul Junior style thing that I picked up for a couple of $100 because it had a broken headstock. So yeah, there's been plenty of little scores like that. In fact, most of these guitars I picked up because I had something wrong with them and sorted it out. So Dave Stewart, Candy Duffer, guitar and sax. Yeah, actually. Yeah. That's awesome. AX8 Live, moving to Axe-Fx 3 Live. Trying to get the Axe-Fx 3 to sound great live. Any tips? What are you doing on the AX8 that you're not doing on the Axe-Fx 3? Like, the amp models are a little bit differently. I don't think you can just kind of straight translate stuff, but I actually kind of had the opposite experience where I thought the AX8 sounded good, and then just doing the same stuff on like the Axe sounded a lot better for me. So yeah, I heard Ragdoll can cover Cardi B's WAP. Hey, we do it. You're actually not the first person to request that song. So Ibanez RG 7-string. Actually, you know what happened last month? My dad loves a good deal, and he picked up an RG. I forget the exact model, but yeah, a 7-string RG from like Cash Converters here, and it's really, really good. The neck feels really, really different to this. This to me is like, this feels a lot wider. I think just because it's really flat than the RG. The RG, yeah, that's totally a convenience song. WAP. So yeah, all the best deals from Cashies. I picked up like a Boss DM2 for $30 from Cashies once. So I'm always going in and being like, oh, is there any weird stuff? So yeah, what was the point of my question? Can't even remember. Could you play through the Soldano without any effects? I love hearing those. Maybe not tonight, but let's add that to the list for another one. I'll do like an amp style thing. We have a Rob Baker question. Everybody say hi, Rob. And, you know, if you're not subscribed to Rob's channel, what are you doing with your life? Why are you here? Go and subscribe. Thought process on adding diminished ideas to a track like that. This is a good question because the diminished thing to me is always like in Dragon Ball Z going Super Saiyan. So you need a good reason to go Super Saiyan. And a track like this is normally like you don't need to go Super Saiyan. But let's see what pops out. I'm in F minor, well, E flat minor. So the obvious choice would be like, you know, on the 5. But I reckon you could get away with some kind of funky stuff with a diminished thing. So maybe a cool thing would be something like this. Would actually to play an F diminished, which I know sounds crazy. Play it on one string. So there's, you know, if you're playing a one note. So that would be like the, I always think it was a Holdsworth idea, but most people know it as like the beat it lick. So something like that, we want to make it sound munted. Mate runs Cashies in Joondalup. Oh, well there you go. That's the one I go to a lot, so there you go. Let's see. Gotta get some diminished stuff. I mean, the short answer is I will probably wuss out and not do it, but let's do it and see what I can come up with. Otherwise, like, if I'm in E flat minor, then D diminished 7th, even though I'm down a whole step, so it feels like F. So my cheat is this. I want to map it out, and I know there's my. So yeah, what I would actually look for is like a spot which has a 5 chord on it, but it doesn't really seem like there is, so I'm just going to go full shred on it because why not? What would Yngwie do? That's the motivating factor here. Okay. Why isn't this playing? because I'm a moron and it is playing. All right, so I'm going to start Boys of Summer, then I'm going to Diminished. Okay. I feel like I'm really forcing it at the moment. Let's try that other. There. Let's try this. It'll be like a... Okay, the other thing you do is play like a into that 9, so I think I know what I want to hit now, so. So yeah, I'd go for that, or I think the key idea is you really need to land on something like in style after that, so it's fine going, but you kind of gotta, or you could use the blues scale. You do it off that. So yeah, I mean, maybe what I'll do is I'll bring up a different backing track and it might work better over that. Yeah, there's all my Diminished stuff over that. So let's try. Yeah. I've been playing the 7-string a lot. I do, because it's got like an undersaddle pickup in it. Piezo, I don't know what you meant to say. Been using it for acoustic gigs. So yeah, and we have a gig with John Karabi in a few weeks. So I'll probably use this. Means for a few solos, I can play an electric guitar solo on it. So let's do this. GT is here. How much a learning curve is it to switch to a 7? I think it depends on what you want to do. I think I bought a 7-string and then spent a month just going. And like. But using it, like doing gigs with it and playing a lot of like. And just like not thinking about the 7th string really made it easier to adapt. So yeah, I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable on it. The thing that threw me when I started was I would hit the A string when I wanted to hit the D string. You know, you're playing your Sweet Home Alabama, but you're going, and you're just like, that doesn't sound right. So yeah, let's try this one. I've got a bunch of backing tracks here. Oh, this is a fun one. Does this one have a 5 chord in it? I'm looking for a 5 chord here. Let's try that. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's try it. Maybe I'm thinking of this one. Cool, so this is a bit more vampy. So what would George Lynch do over this? Probably play like a... This is a fun lick as well. Let's try it. So yeah, listen to your intense rock kids and learn all of those licks. What is that lick? I should probably... Oh man, it is exactly give me a dominant chord. Give me a dominant chord and give me some diminished seventh. Thank you, Ingve, for all your suggestions. What was I going to say? That's a cool chord. What's in there? Yeah, like that. What is it? 13? Altered dominance. It's just, look, you get to a certain stage in your life, normally your 30s, and you start asking, like, is there more to life? And then you learn about altered dominance, and you're like, well, there you go. I already know heaps of those because I too have played the Hendrix chord. Then there's all the rest, so yeah, it's pretty fun. Making lots of great dumb noises. I'm going to play this sound while I think about what I was going to do. Okay, I remember what I was going to do now. Diminished stuff, I'll play the solo for Rust, because there's some interesting stuff in there that isn't just like the play the 5 chord thing. Maybe I'll talk you guys through that solo, because there's some stank happening in there. Some notes that are intentionally there that aren't just in the Phrygian dominant mode. And I'll talk you through, but it's basically the solo is taking place on... What are we doing here? I need to be in drop C. I'm going to get a different guitar rather than butcher this thing. Just let me grab a different guitar, and I should grab the guitar that I played the solo on. 1 second. I'm going to have headphone head after this. Oh boy. Alright. Making geez, I'm in my 30s and I spent my 20s playing a lot of guitar noises. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, hey Robert. That would be crazy. Let's get Robert and let's get Michael Nielsen on the next Discord jam. That would be sick. I don't think I can afford Robert though. His hair is far too luxurious. Cool. So there's a few things. Here's an Yngwie lick that he does all the time. Everybody should know that one. Basically, you organize the harmonic minor scale, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you kind of rush this little... And how do I pick that? Down, hammer, pull, pull, up, down, up, up. So there's a little economy stroke in there. And then you repeat it down an octave. But instead of doing an economy stroke, you just... So that's totally the Yngwie lick that I have wholesale ripped off there. It's kind of the same phrasing as ba 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 ba. All that kind of thing. What was I going to say? Yeah, so that's the thing in Rust, and then the solo. So what are we doing? We're playing over these chords. It's C, it's D flat, it's B flat. So immediately you want to Phrygian dominant, anything that has those 3 notes in it is pretty cool. So the little lick at the start is just a lick using the Phrygian dominant mode, and then there's this very Jeff Beck thing where you bend the major third by a semitone, so Phrygian dominant, you push it to the 4th, and then you fret the 4th, so... What's the Steve Vai song, Freak Show Excess? It's got a bit of that about it too. So that's the first bit, and then what's the next bit? No, that's later. So this is root, flat 9, major 3rd, 5th, sharp 4. Which sounds cool, doesn't it? And... because you can do that. You're allowed to... That would be from the Phrygian dominant. That's got a sharp 4 instead. And then... So... Bit of Marty Friedman Hanger 18 about that one. And then this is purposefully disgusting. I want to hit that... So this again, there's that... For that, what I'm thinking of is like, play Phrygian dominant without the 2 or the 6 and you have a... It's pentatonic with a major 3rd. And then we're going to land on the flat 5 or sharp 4. Yeah, that's what life's all about, kids. Because it sounds about as jarring and dissonant as possible. I want to set up the next lick in the solo with that. Yes. It's... So if you were playing... This is a good question. if you were playing a harmonic minor scale, which I'm not doing, but I'll get to that, and you have a sharp 4, that's what I've always known as Hungarian minor. So what I'm doing for this section is I'm actually playing C Phrygian dominant, but with a sharp 4. What am I doing? We translated that. That's wild. I like that a lot. If you're thinking of the Phrygian dominant as a mode of the harmonic minor scale, what we've done is we've raised the root. So we've really, really, really munted it. That's basically all I'm thinking of, is like, yeah, Phrygian dominant's cool. But, you know, put the sharp 4 in. The other thing I was thinking about was you have the Lydian dominant mode, which obviously has like a natural second. So that's kind of a fun one to... That's actually really, really fun, isn't it? That... Yeah, it's kind of like a Lynch thing would be, another thing George would do would be like, here's your root note, here's the 9th and the minor 3rd, and then the flat 5 and the 5, and you just kind of pummel those. So you'd have... I think it's the Czechoslovakian minor. That is the best comment of the day. The Yugoslav minor, let's call it that. Then, what do I do? Yeah, so that's just kind of like a cool thing. Phrygian blues dominant. I'm sure George Russell had a name for this in his conception of music. If anybody hasn't checked out Lydian chromatic concept, it's a pretty wild ride. What are we doing here, though? And then it's... So this one's interesting here, because, you know, not like the normal thing is, you know, hey, you want to do some spicy diminished 7th substitution, and you're in. Then you would build it off, you know, C Phrygian dominant. You'd kind of build it off like. Ah, yeah. So you're doing exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, I thought I was being clever, I'm not. That is just the obvious choice of notes. That'd be fun with string. And then there's this little thing, so you have, rather than go... Rather than just do the diminished 7th thing 3 notes lower, it's a dominant arpeggio. Which is a really great, you know, if you do your diminished 7th thing where you go... Your Ingve thing, you do dominant 7 chords instead of that. So. Whoop, that's not the one. Or kind of has this like spacey pseudo whole tone thing about it. That's pretty cool. I should play that solo now that I've done it. Where are we? Rust with no guitars. Cool. Let's do it. Why isn't that playing? Because I didn't press play. I am talented. Here we go. Okay, I should probably play the breakdown and the rest of it. No. So yeah, that's one of those solos where I have to play it a few times before having a crack at it. Yeah. Ooh, leftover chow mein for breakfast. Sounds good. Sounds very good. I do love a leftovers for breakfast on a Sunday thing. So yeah, that's some stuff. That's my little homage to Yngwie and Marty Friedman and Eric Johnson and Jeff Beck and people like, Eric Johnson, what are you doing? But go and listen to Venus Isle. Can you play Rust in the E to the 4 time signature? Absolutely not. Although I'm sure I have played it in that time signature before and just absolutely mangled the song. So yeah, there was another lick. Oh yeah, I should do a 5-minute licks episode about this. Maybe I'll just pull this from the stream. And that's a thing you can do, right? So, what are we doing? This is a Paul Gilbert intense rock lick that he does. I will show you. Can you break down how you are getting the tone? Yeah, sure thing. Let's do that. And then we'll talk about the Paul Gilbert lick, because Paul Gilbert licks is good. Let me just drag Axe Edit into this. Let me see. Window capture. Here we go. Oh, there's like 1,000 options here. There we go. Great. Oh, can you all see this? Hopefully you can. Look at that. Magic. What is going on with this? So this is... I've called this Ragdoll A, and I just tried to stick as much stuff into it as I could. I think I'm going to do this. Let's drag that a bit more. Okay, so what is going on here? Amp is... I actually need to click on Axe Edit, not the OBS window. Amp is USA lead mid gain. Let me turn all this other really fun stuff off for now. Pitch block as well, and reverb and this. So the actual kind of raw tone is USA lead mid gain. It's a Mark series amp, so pull out all the bass and mid range up the amp or in the tone stack, crank the treble, and give it a bit of this pseudo V-shape EQ. Now, the cab is wide open on here. A little bit of kind of transformer, preamp type modeling on there. Let me just let you hear this. You're going to hear a lot of sizzle. So that's kind of cool. And there's a few tone shaping things here. There's a live preset, so drastic high and low cuts, which does this. So that just kind of, makes it a little more pleasant when you're listening at blistering volumes. This multi-band compressor is actually just acting as a dynamic EQ. The idea being that only between 80 Hz and 350 Hz, and it's attained palm units. So with it and without it. For the lead scene though, we got some stuff going on here. What do we have? We have a multi-tap delay doing some delay and chorus, which is pretty fun. There is some pitch detune on everything, like doing this kind of TC mimic style thing. Tiny bit of reverb on there as well. So let's bring each of those elements in one by one. So that's what's up there. I think as well in the amp block, when I change to this scene, the input boost and the fat switch come on, which really help for the lead thing. So that's what's going on there. Yeah. Oh, so okay, let's look at the delay. I'll explain the logic for all of this and why it gets really, really big and greasy. Where are we at? So, quad parallel delay. Yeah, these effects are just... I can't believe it, you know. And they just added a new like dynamic distortion block recently, which sounds amazing as well. So here is a fun trick that you can do with the quad parallel delay. So think about it. You have 4 individual delays that you can do anything you want to them, and they don't interact with one another. So delay 1 only feeds back into itself, delay 2 only feeds back into itself, and so forth. There's other multi-tap delays that do interact